Good evening and welcome to Phases the Next Level. I'm your host, Invalid Sunshine, and I'm so excited to be here with Curtis tonight. Curtis, thank you for coming and sitting down to talk with me.
Hey, no problem.
And so let me get you in the camera a little bit more here. There we go. So Curtis, I just want to thank you first of all for being here and being willing to tell your story.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to hear about it. And all I want to do, so let's just jump right in. So the first thing I want to know is about your upbringing. And the reason I want to know about your upbringing because a lot of times things in our childhood carry over to our adulthood that was not addressed.
Right.
And so sometimes we carry that into our adulthood and do things that maybe we not so happy about. I'll say that.
Right.
So how was your upbringing?
My mom, she was single. She raised me and my sister, and man, we did a lot of moving just in the little time that we, grew up together or whatever. It was difficult, you know what I mean? My mom was always gone, but she was there. Like, I played basketball, she was there. I played soccer, she was always there. It was just
So it's just you and you got one sibling?
yeah, it was just me and my sister, and I didn't know my dad until recently, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't have nobody to tell me what I could do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I could do.
So really kind of just your mom was doing everything she could do to raise you and take care of you guys, and then y'all was kind of on your own doing what you wanted to do.
Oh yeah.
And so you're not from here, right?
No, I'm not from
Where are you
Oklahoma.
originally from?
I'm from San Diego.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so life is sometimes can be kind of rough in California. So
Oh,
as
yeah.
you're growing up, did you going to school? Did you have issues with people at school?
Oh
How
yeah.
did that?
I was always like involved with gangs, you know what I mean? Where I'm from, I grew up, trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you prove yourself, you got to do a lot of crazy stuff at a crazy age, you know what I
Right.
mean? I went to juvenile hall at a young age and did time when I was like from 13 to 16.
In juvenile?
Yeah, and YA camp. I've been just about everywhere.
My gosh. So, and that's another part of like when we're growing up and we don't have our father figures, or we have our father, we don't have our mother figure, and you like that. And so you go out and you try to find that love somewhere else, and you get
Right.
involved with people that will embrace you.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's the wrong people that embrace us.
Yeah.
But we can't blame people for what our decisions are because we make our own decisions. So
Right.
from 13 to 16, you were in juvenile services. Where was your mom and sister?
They were at home. My mom was still doing. My mom was. She worked for like movies. She was an extra in movies, so she was always moving around, going places. So, but my sister real smart, man. My sister's.
Younger than you?
Yeah, she's 2 years younger than me. She. Really smart. That girl. She stayed out of trouble her whole life. You know what I
That's
mean?
a blessing.
Yeah, she's accomplished a lot. But I guess I was just always the black sheep. You know what I mean? I always just kind of veered off. You know what I mean?
Right. So when you were released when you were 16 from juvie,
Yeah.
what happened then? When you got out, what
I
happened?
went to school. I went straight back to school. You know what I mean? Still doing stupid stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I was still stealing cars and breaking into houses, and got caught up again. Ended up going back to juvenile hall
Okay.
until I was 17, and as soon as I turned 18, I went to prison. Yeah. I went
From
to,
juvie?
Yeah.
So from juvenile services you went
Straight to prison.
straight to
yeah.
prison. So let's talk about that, if you will. Before prison, did you were you doing drugs then, or just
Oh yeah. I was doing drugs, but I was also selling a lot of weed.
okay?
You know what I mean? I started doing meth, because one of my big homies was selling it, and we knew where he kept it, and we'd always sneak it from him, you know what I mean?
Right.
Try it, and
Yeah.
we weren't supposed to, but we did anyways.
Right. So you was actually doing meth at that age as well?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So when did you start doing meth?
When I started meth at 16.
At 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get out of juvie, and why are you going to prison?
I go to prison for possession of stolen vehicles. We stole like 16 cars in one night. So that's why we were doing dope, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
were doing meth to just stay up.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It wasn't for the fact of how it made us feel, it was just the fact that we could stay up all night and hustle, you
And
know
do
what I
what
mean?
you had to do. I hear a lot of people. I've interviewed a lot of people that do meth, and they say that they first started because it keeps them up, not because I wanted to get, like you said, with how it made me feel,
Yeah.
but because it made me stay up and I had things to do.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
it wasn't the right things I was doing, but it
yeah.
kept me up, right?
Right, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
yeah.
So how long did you stay in prison?
I did 8 years.
From 18, you did 8
Yeah.
years. Okay, so in prison, I know that it's easy to get drugs in prison, and it's easy to do still
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
same things you do
Yeah.
on the street. So were you
Oh, yeah.
involved in
Yeah.
stuff like that in prison as
Oh
well?
yeah. I wasn't really doing meth in prison because it wasn't my thing in prison. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
right.
For some reason, I just couldn't do it.
Right.
But I was involved in like weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was a weed head. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd bring it in, or I'd smoke it. I mean, sell it, buy it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I did that a lot. I just been like in my life. I was always, taught to make my own money because my mom was gone.
Yeah.
And I did have a sister I had to look out for. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
So,
get that.
but I spent a lot of time, learning how to make money and hustling. You know what I mean? Which was, that's more the attraction to doing meth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do it because it helps me get money. If I can
Right.
get money, then I'm surviving.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I came here by myself when I got out of prison.
I was gonna ask you. That was my question.
Oh,
How
yeah.
did you get? So you went to prison when you were 18. You stayed there for 8 years. And when did you get out of prison?
I got out of prison when I was 26, 27, 27.
27.
Came here.
And you came to this city right here.
Yeah.
Okay. What brings you here?
My mom brought me here.
Okay.
She was working for the Tulsa State Fair, and when I got out of prison, she suggested, "Hey, why don't you come with me to Tulsa?" And I've never even heard Tulsa.
Right.
Like, I was like, "Tulsa, where's that?"
You're right.
She's like, "Oklahoma." I was like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna stay here, man. I'm not going there." I didn't know what to
Night and
expect.
day.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Well, she talked me into it. You know what I mean? She just told me, like, if you stay here, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna end up going back to prison. Come with me. So I went with her. Came out here and eating up. Met my wife. I got babies out here now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I got 9 kids now.
How long have you been here?
I've been here 12 years.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have 9 babies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 9 kids. Yeah.
Okay.
My oldest is
And they all here in Bartlesville?
No. I got 3 that live in Skytook, 4 that live in Oregon, and then I got 1 lives in Catoosa.
Okay.
And my oldest son, he was born like right when I went to prison. So
Oh, okay. So since you've been here for 12 years, have you been in trouble?
oh yeah,
Back to prison?
oh yeah.
What did we go back to prison for then?
Possession stolen vehicle.
Doing
I stole another car. Yeah.
Okay.
That was one
And
of
when
my
was
things.
that?
Shit, it's been 10 years. So, yeah, about 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And how long did you do? Because did they pull up after formal convictions, did they pull up what you was convicted for out in California and
No.
bring all that up? So it
No,
was the stuff
I had
here?
a discharge number out
Oh,
there
okay.
in California
Good.
because I did
Okay.
my thing out
You
there.
were done. Okay.
Yeah, so when I came out here, it was just, they gave me a 5-year suspended sentence.
Oh, okay.
And I did some paper time and did some prison time. But I haven't been in trouble since then.
Right,
You know what I
since
mean?
you got out.
Yeah,
How long you been out?
10 years.
Oh, you just said that.
Yeah,
You've been out
yeah,
10
going-
years.
yeah,
Okay.
going out 10 years.
So you've been out 10 years. What have you been doing within those 10 years? Did you get out and start doing meth again and just been able to stay out of trouble?
No, I had a little girl, Amaya. She was like the first thing I seen when I got out, you know what I mean? And that changed me for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was still, doing pills and, cause it wasn't just meth, but meth was always,
A center of attention.
yeah, my center, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did every girlfriend I had or every baby mama that I have ventured into meth too. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Or
And that
some-
doesn't help the situation.
No, but
Yeah.
we
yeah. And I
we
get
got
that.
along. You know what I mean?
So, all right. So, you haven't been in trouble, and
No.
so at what point did you end up at the Serenity Home? When did you say it's time out and I'm done?
I came here to Bartlesville straight by an accident. I was hanging outside of a motel, the casino at River Spirit, and I ran into two girls. They brought me out here. I had nowhere else to go, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was just...
You were just out there.
I was out there, yeah. Well, I ended up getting left here. And...
They left you in Bartlesville?
Yeah, with just a blanket. That's all I had.
Oh,
Yeah.
Curtis.
It was bad.
And
It
then,
was
so
bad.
what happened?
I was behind Egbert's over here. So I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere around here, but I was back there with the blanket covered up, and two guys came out and offered me food, gave me money, gave me a jacket with a hat and gloves, paid for my cab to the lighthouse. Well, they didn't have no room at the lighthouse,
Right,
so I took the money and got a hotel room.
right.
Well, the next day I'd take off walking because I'm like, I don't know what else to do, you know what I mean? And I run into a friend of mine named James Parks, and I asked him, I said, man, where am I at, bro? Like, he was like, you're in Bartlesville, dude, you know? I was like, so which way is Tulsa? And he told me how to get to the NA club that we go to.
Yeah.
I went inside there to see if somebody could give me a ride.
Right.
Well, I ended up getting pulled into a meeting, and I sat there and I talked to him about my situation.
Right.
Well, they ended up hooking me up with my sponsor now, Cody, and a sober house, or we call it recovery house. They call it recovery house.
Right.
And it was just, at first I wasn't there. I was just there I wanted to be there just for a couple days.
Right.
You know, just to get my things together and go back to Tulsa and just start out doing what I was doing before.
Right.
Well, I kept going to these meetings, and it was just like,
Pulling you in.
yeah, oh yeah.
Pulling you in. So this is what, and I'm not saying this is good, but by you being able to, the experiences you had in California, and you've been able to take care of yourself, and then you ended up getting left here, makes you a strong person. Like you were surviving, right?
Yeah.
You know how to survive.
Yes.
But now you're living and knowing how to survive the right way.
Right.
Right. So tell me about what you're doing now that's new, because I know that you have a job.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I got 2 jobs.
So see, you have 2
Yeah.
jobs. So this is good. This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
So tell me about living this kind. I mean, how long have you been straight?
I've been
Off the meth.
Off the meth. It's gonna be on the 19th of this month. Will be 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the longest I've ever been without any kind of drug. You know
Congratulations.
What I mean? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a start. It's
Yeah.
a start. And what are you doing to continue to stay straight and stay away from that? Because you know that when you do drugs, you can't hang around the same people you hang
no.
around, and you
Yeah, I
can't go
don't-
back to the baby mamas if they do,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to keep yourself straight? I know we got to stay busy, so you're working 2 jobs.
Yeah, I go to work. I stay to myself. I got friends now that have been through the same situations I've been through,
Right.
and want the same thing as me. But I look at it like now I look at it like we continuously call it a disease. You know what I mean?
Yes, it
And
is.
The common cold is a disease, but we'll take some medicine to feel better. You know what I mean? So it don't last forever.
That's right. That's
So
right.
when it comes to addiction, I feel like
It's the same.
yeah.
It's the same, and it's an epidemic. Meth is an epidemic around here, just close
Oh,
to
yeah.
us. And so when I respect you for coming to tell your story, especially as a male, because I get a lot of females, women like to talk, we'll tell our truth.
Right.
But as a male, this is what encourages other people, other men,
Right.
and this is what help people get clean.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you
Hey,
doing
no problem,
that.
no problem.
I appreciate your story.
Yeah.
And so, how long are you in the Serenity, or what do you call it? What do y'all call it?
I call it this place I'm living now with Michelle is so we call it sober living.
The sober living, yes.
Yeah, the
I'm
house I
sorry.
was living in before was we called that the our house.
Oh, so this is your second home. You've been.
Yeah, I just moved from one to another.
I got you.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. Like I get up every day just thankful to be sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a new feeling to me, which is good. You know what I mean? But I'm not a quitter. Like you said before, I'm a survivor. You know what I mean?
right, you are.
So I can survive without meth. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean? I can do that. If
That's
I
it.
can survive on the streets, I can survive.
That's right. And meth, and this is, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but what I see is that meth it controls people's lives instead of
Yeah.
you controlling
Right.
that drug. And so when you can get sober off of that,
Right.
I hear that it's not hard to get off of meth, like it would be heroin, because you don't go really through the hard process of that. And so
Right.
when you can get off of meth
Right.
and you can be 2 months sober, because I know a lot of people that I've talked to have fallen off
Yeah.
after 2 weeks.
Oh,
The
yeah,
longest
yeah.
they've been able to go is 2 weeks. So 2 months is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you should celebrate
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But I just my thing is that I would hope for you is that you continue to do what you're doing.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, definitely.
And do you believe in the Lord?
Oh yeah, definitely.
so
Yeah,
stay
I
in
get.
tune with
Yeah,
your higher
that's
power.
my higher power definitely is God. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When it comes down to it, I'm a Christian, and I do give everything to Him. You know what I mean? Because I get blessed every day. Like I said, every time I'm waking up, to take a breath of fresh air, breath of fresh air.
Right.
I feel blessed.
That's a
You know what I
blessing
mean?
in itself.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge blessing
I haven't
in
stuck a
itself.
needle in my arm in 2.5 months. So,
Oh, I'm so
you know what I mean?
glad.
I know, and I'm at that age too. I'm 40 years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
You're
I'm
not
at that
getting
age
any
where
younger.
I could whoop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad to hear you talk like that. So I hope that for you, my hope is that you continue and it's not, I'm not saying it's just easy. I don't know. I've never done it,
Right.
but I see it. And people struggle with trying to stay sober. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you keep busy, but you got to first keep close to God and praying.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And staying around people that are sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, how about your kids? Do you talk to any of your kids?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I talk to all my kids.
all of them?
Yeah. That's one thing I've always said I was gonna do. You know what I mean? Is if I'm gonna be a father, I'm gonna be a father. You know what I mean? No matter how messed up I was on meth, I was always a dad. You know what I mean? All my kids love me. You know what I mean?
That's
We
good.
got good relationships. I got good relationships with their moms.
I'm
you
glad
know?
because
Yeah.
kids don't ask to be born.
Oh, no.
And the decisions we make sometimes makes them suffer.
Right.
But we always, God always seems to be able, if we just grab a hold of God, He can bring that all back together. So I'm glad.
Oh
you
yeah,
did that.
yeah. We get along.
And so, how many people are in the home that you live in now? And
I think there's about 16 people.
so you're surrounded with 16 people that are living sober.
Yeah.
Every day.
Oh yeah, I love it, man, and I love everybody in the house.
Yeah.
You know, Michelle, she's an angel.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I just talked to her for a few minutes, and she's amazing. So I'll be by to see you guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, Curtis, I appreciate your time.
Hey, no problem, no problem.
I appreciate your honesty and your
Yeah.
truth, and you just never. This story is going to go out to multitudes of people, and you never know who's looking is going to help. That it's
Cool.
going to help,
I hope
and
it
I
does.
hope that it continues to help you heal as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you ever need me,
Oh
just
yeah.
call me.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Okay?
definitely. I will. Thank
All right.
you. I appreciate
you
it.
guys. This concludes our interview. Again, we're thankful for Curtis and his story, and we just pray that the story reaches whoever it needs to reach. If it's just one person, if we can reach one person at a time, then we would be so thankful, and we've done our job. So have a good evening, say your prayers, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.